YouTubers, for those you guys have the 2004 to 2008 Ford F-150 5.4, I'm doing a transmission shift upgrade kit from Transgo here, not advertising. I bought the HD2 version. There's a basic, the standard version, and the HD2. I went for the HD2 because it has valve body gaskets. Just give you a quick tip on some of the things I couldn't figure out on YouTube. I mean, they have some detailed instructions how to install it, remove and install, and of course replace all the necessary valves. Just want to give some tips about some of the things I couldn't figure out. I had to figure out by myself anyways. But if you see that plate, it says it's called a third retainer point. Well, that some people, some videos, well, all videos says to bend out the tang. There's like 3 little lip that comes out of it. You bend it out so it can hold on to the barrel inside the valve body, which is this one. Well, fortunately for mine, I didn't have to bend it. I tried it out to see if it sticks, and yes, it does stick. Of course, my 2004, I believe they went a transition from the old body style to the new, the heritage, I think you call it. But mine was the newer version. Some of the parts I had to go into the 2005 to find the parts, but they were all made of steel, not the aluminum that you see here, so that was good for me. I didn't have that either. I had the steel version. Now some guys, well, for this part of the barrel here, which goes in here, it created a lot more tension because it's double spring on both ends of the barrel, or the piston. I had to use a jack to basically put pressure on this plate in order to put the snap ring back in. I had to struggle with that. I probably had to fight like an hour for that. But on the older version, you only had one spring, the original springs, one on each side of the piston. This one, they beefed it up with 2 springs instead. So yeah, it was a lot of tension when you put that piston back in. And of course, the filter goes right in here. Well, the filter kind of goes in. Let me see here. The cutout of the filter matches with the groove of the area, so that it only goes in one way. You can't mess that up. But I have to go buy Vaseline to make it stick on there before I put the valve body back in. That'll be like somewhat almost to the end when you're ready to put the valve body back in. This is very self-explanatory in most of the videos. I'm not going to go through that. Now, for the gasket, I can't explain to you because I have the valve body back in. I wanted to make sure I have everything in before making this video. There's a little tight screen. It didn't fall off. It kind of wedges in there, but when I took the valve body off, it didn't fall off. So that was good for me. It looked clean. Well, I kind of sprayed a little bit of well, I don't know if it's the right thing to do to put spray brake fluid on there, brake cleaner, but it is clean, well, fairly. My version, it says first type and second type. My version, I had a little dimple here and there, and of course just follow through. I'm sorry, one here and one here. That was the first version. I didn't have that. second version, I have it right here. So trust me, you can't miss it. There's a little circular divot in there that you place the check ball in. All that is self-explanatory in most of the videos. Make sure you have that in. Now, on top of this, there's a plate. I guess you call it a separator plate or something. But if you keep following the video, you shouldn't have a problem with that. But the gasket, make sure they give you two versions of the gasket. There's a gasket for this side, and then the plate, and then another gasket goes on top of the plate. You can't miss it. As a matter of fact, it's in here. These are old parts. That's a command option. I didn't want to use that. That's the option where you can shift from fourth gear down to one. You didn't want to do that. I mean, even in the instruction manual, it says it's just for off-road or some sort. You don't want to do that if you're doing normal driving. But so these are the two gaskets I mentioned. They give you two sets of this and two sets of these. You just have to take the plate and match the holes up. It's very obvious because probably about 10 holes are covered up with this gasket here. So you can't mess that up. Just match it with the plate and you'll be fine. I guess they call it a separator plate or something. But let me see here. Oh. Well, that's the plate I was talking about. I guess they call it a separator plate. It's the plate where you drill all the holes. Well, the gasket, you just have to hold the gasket up with the plate and make sure all the holes goes through. You can see all the holes open up on that plate. Can't go wrong because it's about like 10 holes that covers on that gasket I just showed you. I didn't mess with this. Definitely not any of these. This is for the older version, and it says that if you have a 2004 and up, you don't have to worry about that. But it does come with those rings I didn't use. And that separator plate. And of course, all the new valves that they provide you. That's the command feature that I didn't use. None of those. All right, I left that alone. And of course, I changed out the new valve. That's kind of like a shift valve, actually. All right, self-explanatory there. And of course, all right, so this is the side where it faces the on the oil pan side. So you take this plate out, flip it over, there we go. So you flip this plate, take this plate out. The only thing you're doing on this side is actually drilling two holes right here. Just go exactly where they mark the X. I would recommend using a they call it a center punch or whatever. You punch it so the drill wouldn't run on you, basically. But I do warn you, gotta be careful, because when I drill that, by the time I finished drilling it up to I think it was 125 thou size drill. Yeah, it even says that 1/8 of a hole. It almost, the hole is almost close to the edge or close to the surface of that valve body. So try to go exactly how it is. You can easily mess up. Just go slow and drill right on the bottom of the lip there, the wall there. Can't really show you there, but there's actually a hole right there. You can see the slit. Well, that's where the valve, that's where the one of the valves sits, and it, you can see through it actually. See the valve and through the other way, but try to cover some, use a piece of tape or something to cover that. All right, and then or use a vacuum while you're drilling, but it'll be too much of a hassle, and you might mess up drilling that hole. So be careful. That's the most critical part, I think, of making modifications there. You can easily blow that little surface there. Now, to install, all the bolts, to be able to take the valve body down, all the bolts are 8mm size. So find out all the 8mm size, and unbolt it. But just be careful when you first take it out. Oil is going to gush out once you loosen the valve body. One critical point, this they didn't mention in the video very in detail. I don't think any video shows this part of the clip here. But where the two holes you drilled up, this actually goes right on top of it. So this is the last part you have to do, because two of the valve body bolts is holding the valve body, and plus with this along with it. Two different links on the 8mm bolt, or the valve body bolts that holds the valve body anyways. The longer one, the longer length bolt is actually on this plate. Because of the thickness, it added thickness to this area, so the 8mm bolts goes there. All the other bolts is mostly along the perimeter of the valve body. This comes off. This is holding the solenoid. Two solenoids here. Not that, I don't think, but that's part of the valve body bolt. That's a 10mm bolt. That's actually holding the solenoid here and here. So you can see there. That's how it goes. All right, and of course the 8mm bolt, it's holding the valve body, but also the detent for the shifter. That's an 8mm bolt. Now taking it off and on when you're reinstalling the valve body, make sure that kind of lines up with this groove. If not, you won't be able to shift. This bolt is actually holding on to this plate that holds this solenoid in place. Yeah, so it won't slide in and out. That's what it is. It's kind of like a little clip, but that's holding on to the valve body, and that's it. All the 10mm bolts you can remove once you drop the valve body. You can be able to remove those. Same thing on the other side of the valve body where the separator plate is. Those are 10mm bolts. Yep, but I just want to give you a tip there. Of course, the hole for the oil filter. Oh, which reminds me, I need to put the oil filter back in before I put the pan back in. And of course, the electrical connector. Oh, the connectors was a little tricky. It's got a little hook. Let me see if I can find. Let me get that. I had to struggle with that for probably about half an hour to an hour, because the clip on here was grabbing onto the valve body, and I couldn't be able to figure out how. To remove or unclip it. You can see there, that's one of them. Well, that's the one I had trouble with because I couldn't reach anything into it. But it's got a little hook to it, if you can see here. Like that. You see that? So basically, it's got a hole that you can put a small screwdriver, probably a flathead, and kind of, well, gently pry it away from the valve body through that hole. Yeah, same here. Right there. As you can see, it just kind of clips on. Some guys were using a flathead screwdriver and just kind of pry it, but you run the risk of breaking that little clip. That's why I didn't want to do that, but I was kind of being patient and used a tiny flathead screwdriver to pop it, to unclip it. And this side, let me see if I can find this one. I know there's one somewhere. Right there. Yeah, so this one is not pliable. Yep. So anyways, when you plug it in, here's how it looks like. So one right there. You can see one there. And you follow along. Looks like there's a little resistor there. If you follow along, there's one here. So 1, 2, 3, right there. Can't miss it. 3 and 4. So you just put a little screwdriver in and then kind of pry it out, but be careful not to break it. Yeah. So 1. Yeah, I don't remember. I think I kind of pried this one out. For the life of me, I don't remember how it clips on. But 1, 2, 3, and 4 clips that holds on to this wire connection, I guess you call it. But yeah, don't forget to put this in. If not, you won't be able to shift. This controls all the solenoids in the valve body. All right, torque specs for the valve body. I think I found a manual somewhere that states all the valve body bolts. It doesn't matter if it's 10 mil or 8 mil bolts. It's torqued to 85 to 88 inch-pounds. That's what I did. I torqued it down to 88 inch-pounds. I maxed it out. Okay. Yep, that video shows you how to hook the spring, paper clip it, leave it on the side, and that'll be almost the last thing you do when you reinstall the valve body. So, all right, torque specs for the oil pan itself. I think the manual says 10 foot-pounds, not inch-pounds. So 10 foot-pounds on that. There's a reusable gasket, but I don't know. It's been 20 years, and I don't think anybody ever replaced that gasket before, so I'm gonna use the one they provided, the gasket they provided in this shift kit here. That's it. I think that's all I needed to explain. But yeah, and it's supposed to improve the shifting and all that, all the upgrades, yada yada. Yep. So there's one video that shows you how to put this spacer back in. Some people would use like Vaseline or something, but so on the end of where that is, I basically knew, well, when I reinstalled the valve body, I bolt one in here and let it hang or tilt to have enough opening to where I can slide the spacer in afterwards. So when you put it in, when you put all this into the bore, it stays. That's why they say to bend the tang to let it stay up in there. The only thing left to do is to put the spacer in. But I do that when I reinstall the valve body and let it kind of, well, both one end here and then let it hang and leave an opening to where I can slide that spacer in, and I'll set a bolt here so it won't drop out. And that's when I start torquing everything in. I don't know if there's a torque sequence, but I went from the inside out, especially from the plate first. So the torque sequence, I'm not sure if there's any torque sequence, but I almost snug tight everything. Make sure the valve body is sitting tight and correctly positioned. When you remove the valve body, I forgot to mention, there's two alignment pins. Well, it's an 8mm bolt that goes through, or is it a 10? I don't remember. Oh, 10. So one here and one here. So those bolts are longer, and it has, I guess you can call it a dowel pin when it goes through the other side. It goes all the way through the other side of the valve body where you align the gasket and the separator plate. So I can't miss it, because it goes all the way through. It's threaded, but it goes all the way through for the bolt to go through and create a alignment pin over on the other side. Yep. So well, the 10mm bolts are torqued before you even install or reinstall the valve body back into the transmission. But when you torque, I knew there's no sequence. Nobody mentioned anything about sequence, but I went in from the inside out. I torqued all the metal plates first, all around the metal plates first, and then I went around the perimeter of the valve body. All right. Okay. And everything gets torqued, blah blah blah, detent, all that. And like I said, just want to reiterate that make sure the shifter is in with the shift valve there. Huh? Hey buddy, okay, thank you. Yep, sorry about that, got a delivery. Anyways, once you install this with the paper clip, well, the paper clip was holding everything in place with the spring and the little, I guess it's a check valve. Pull it off, don't leave it in there, pull it off before you install the oil pan back in. Alright, well, I think that's most of the tip. Sorry it took about 20 minutes, but I just want to explain certain things in here. Good luck. I know it applies to the 2004 to 2008 F-150, but this is the 4R75W shift kit or transmission that I have here. But it does apply to many other models, year models. I'm pretty sure it's not just, it doesn't apply just to the F-150s. I think it goes to like Mustangs and all the other stuff too. So, all right. Good luck, guys. I gotta reinstall the wires and the filter, and I should be done closing this up. All right. Good luck now.